Oh, hey, Ghoulash here, reviewing another Simpsons Halloween episode for October. This time I'm covering Treehouse of Horror 4, aired as episode 5 of season 5 on October 28th, 1993.
Bart, you should warn people this episode is very frightening.
The graveyard opening sequence is reprised, and you can tell they're running out of ideas for these tombstone gags. The couch gag makes up for this, though. This episode mixes things up with the wraparound segments, which were written by Conan O'Brien, one of the final episodes O'Brien worked on before becoming a late-night talk show host. Man, that was back when a Simpsons writer nobody heard of before could just become a late-night talk show host. Wild. You can tell Conan already got his late-night gig by the time this episode aired, because his spooky credit is Conan 1230 NBC O'Brien.
Paintings. Lifeless images rendered in colorful goop.
The wraparound segments Conan wrote are a parody of a different Rod Serling anthology show, Night Gallery, with some great renditions of classic paintings reimagined with Simpsons characters.
The devil.
The first segment, The Devil and Homer Simpson, is a loose parody of a film titled The Devil and Daniel Webster, released in 1941. The premise is that the power plant's donut supply has been depleted.
We chucked him at an old man for kicks.
Buzzards! I ain't dead yet!
So Homer signs a pact with the devil, who turns out to be ironically Ned Flanders, for just one donut, but the catch is that Homer can keep his soul as long as the donut remains uneaten. No, Homer, you lazy sack of shit.
Homer, did you eat that donut?
No.
The main draw to this segment is the scene that takes place during Homer's stay in hell, where Homer receives an ironic punishment that never really becomes a punishment. Because Fox merchandised literally any aspect of The Simpsons, you could actually get a fully functional miniature replica of the ironic punishment machine, which might be the coolest thing you see all day.
I don't understand it. James Coco went mad in 15 minutes.
This segment kinda goes downhill when it becomes a horror-themed rendition of a Simpsons trial scene featuring the Devil's Jury, a collection of evil throughout history.
Richard Nixon!
But I'm not dead yet. In fact, I just wrote an article for Redbook.
Ironically, Richard Nixon died just a few months after this episode aired, so that joke aged really quickly.
Excuse me, I must use the restroom.
The late Phil Hartman's inclusion as Simpsons lawyer Lionel Hutz is always welcome, but thankfully this segment comes to a speedy conclusion, complete with an ironic punishment. I give the Devil and Homer Simpson 4 tree houses out of 5.
Dad, I wouldn't go outside if I were you.
Don't worry, boys. He's gotta come out of there sometime.
The second segment is titled Terror at 5.5 Feet, obviously a parody of the Nightmare at 20,000 Feet episode from The Twilight Zone, though it takes a lot of inspiration from the movie remake.
Krusty trading cards.
Krusty poses for trading card photo.
He seems to be running a little low on ideas.
After Bart has a nightmare of his death on the school bus, his vision seems to become a reality the following rainy morning when he witnesses a gremlin on the side of the bus tampering with the machinery, but nobody on the bus believes him.
There's no monster. You're deceptive.
There's also a tacked-on appearance by Kang and Kodos. Their inclusion is a tradition, but that doesn't mean they'll do anything in the episode. This segment is a genuinely scary rendition of the classic Twilight Zone story because it features a kid in the main role, somebody more powerless than the adult men from the Twilight Zone versions. Sure, it's on a bus, but it's basically treated as if it was a plane anyway. The ending of the segment is the first truly bleak and terrifying ending in the Treehouse of Horror series. Despite Bart successfully thwarting the gremlin, he's still confined to spend his entire life in an insane asylum, and he already has a visitor.
I'll be home, Bart!
That ending always creeps me out. I give Terror at 5.5 feet 5 tree houses out of 5.
They're dogs, and they're playing poker!
The final segment is about dogs playing poker. Actually, it's about Bart Simpson's Dracula, a parody of the book Bart Simpson's Dracula. The Francis Ford Coppola film had come out the year before this episode debuted, and it seems like the only reason they did this parody is because Mr. Burns resembles Gary Oldman's Dracula.
His hairdo looks so queer.
I heard that!
He was a boy!
Still, it's a really good Dracula parody where the Simpsons family is invited to Mr. Burns' home in Pennsylvania, and Bart winds up becoming one of Burns' vampire servants.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Father. I missed you during my uneventful absence.
It's at this point the segment switches gears into parodying Salem's Lot and the Lost Boys. But Homer eventually slays his vampiric employer, but not without grave consequences.
You're fired! Don't!
The ending of the episode is probably one of the most nonsensical endings in the Treehouse of Horror series. It turns out all of the Simpsons besides Lisa were vampires the whole time, but before attacking her, they reenact a scene from A Charlie Brown Christmas. It definitely seems like the writers of this script had to crank it out under a tight deadline. Such a random ending. I give Bart Simpson's Dracula 4 Treehouses out of 5. Treehouse of Horror 4 is a little uneven in the horror department, but it does still have some memorable gags and a great middle segment.
No.
Oh, no.
I give Treehouse of Horror 4 Treehouses out of 5. Hope you're having a great October, you fucking weirdos. Check out my new YouTube channel, The Goulag. Subscribe today, new videos on the way. Link in the description. See you later, happy Halloween. If you liked this video, like it, and if you loved it, click the subscribe and bell buttons for more vids. I'd also like to thank these fine folks pledged my shout-out tier on Patreon for all their kind support. Videos like this wouldn't be possible without all their help. Thank you for watching, see you next time. Dr. Wolfula signing out.